Hello, hello, hello. It's that time again for another top 5, and this one's about the hardest ships to kill in World of Warships. So, these ships will be available in the tech tree. One of them is steel, and one of them is going to be a premium. Other than that, all these ships are going to be in the tech tree. Oh, one of them's also coal. So, you guys can take a guess of what they are, and also, what are your top 5 hardest ships to kill in World of Warships? So, let's get started. So, this is going to be a top 5, so it'll be in a numbered order, so you guys can let me know what you guys think of this list as I go through them. So the first set is going to be, it's actually going to be a set. It's going to be the Kleber and the Marceau. And the two main reasons why, one is obvious because of how fast they go. These ships are one of the, well, both of them are one of the fastest ships in the game, very maneuverable, very hard to hit at distance due to them being destroyers and how fast they're going. Very easy to be able to juke and dodge incoming shells and torpedoes. These ships do very well in that. Also, the other reason why is due to the French saturation. Now, on French destroyers, normally with how this game works for armor, there's like the bow. Well, sorry, how the HP is done. There's like a bow, there's like a super structure, there's a midsection, there's an aft. And each of these sections have a total number of HP. On the French destroyers, each of these sections have less health than the total. So when it's easier to saturate these areas, and it's harder to do more damage on a saturated area. So these ships are very maneuverable, and they get that saturation mechanic quicker on those French destroyers, so it makes it a lot harder to kill. So both the Marceau and the Kleber are going to be number 5 in that regard because of that. All right, moving on. So the next ship is going to be a steel ship. It is going to be the Svea, and I'm going to go over the couple of reasons why. One of the main reasons why is the fact that this ship has a short burst smoke generator, so it's able to smoke up really easily. It also has nice maneuverability to escape with its engine boost, has a really nice radar as well. The ship isn't that big either. It's quite a small cruiser, so pretty hard to hit. Again, the ship is very maneuverable, very hard to hit with that exhaust, with that short generation smoke. It makes it very easy for it to kill. With its armor, it's really hard for battleships to citadel this thing. You'll do a lot of overpens on it, so it makes it a lot harder to be able to actually do damage for it. Heavier cruisers will have a better time killing this ship, same as some light cruisers. But battleships are just going to have a problem overpinning it a lot just due to the armor. So Svea is going to be my number 4 on hardest to kill. All right, so for my number 3, I had to include this ship in this list. It is going to be the Valparasio. This ship, it is the definition of a zombie ship. The legit, right? So this thing gets a super heal, right? Really strong heal. And then it gets a combat instruction where when you destroy a ship, you get the combat instruction instantly. And if you hit ships with secondaries, you get an 8% toward it for each secondary hit. And you get your heal and your DCP 95% faster when it is active. And it's active for 5 seconds. So you get your heal and your DCP back instantly. Pretty much instantly. When that is active, which means you could just pop heal after heal after heal after heal as long as you're getting those secondaries off for that combat instruction. I believe the max amount of HP that you can like tank, as in total damage done to you, is around 250,000 damage. That's around the max. So this ship has a survivability of 75,000. It can tank over 3.5 times that. A lot of tanking this ship can do. And it can tank as well as deal somewhat damage. It's mostly specialized in its guns 381 millimeter. They're AP only. Secondaries are great for starting fires, but other than that, they're not really going to be doing much damage dealing unless you're hitting like destroyers or light cruisers. But its main purpose is to just tank. In the unbreakable line mode, it does severe, like it just dominates with its tankiness. It just does super well. as long as it's in the early game. If you're in the late game of Unbreakable and you've already gone through all your heals, then yeah, you're going to be suffering at that point. Now for ranked, it also does really well in ranked as well, just because there are less ships in both of those modes. This ship thrives in brawling, close encounter combat. Being able to tank bow in or slightly angled to get more secondaries off. Now it does have a Vanguard hull, so you do have to be careful of its citadel, but if you don't get citadeled and you don't eat torpedoes, you're going to be able to outtake pretty much anything that's shooting at you just because of how many heals you have. Because again, you have 7 heals, and then if you build into it, you can get 8. So you can get 8 heals, and you can tank up to about 250,000 damage. And that isn't potential damage, that's just raw damage that's done to you. It's about 250,000, which is absolutely insane for a tier 9 battleship that's theoretically just a tier 8 battleship that's been upgraded. So pretty crazy that a ship can do that. So that's definitely why this ship is on my 3rd in this list. So moving on, let's talk about our 2nd ship on the list. Our 2nd hardest ship to kill in the game is going to be a super ship. It is going to be the Devestation. The Devestation is also the definition of a zombie ship. It has over 99,000 HP. You can build in that with flag, so it gets it up to 104,000. The heal on this thing is absolutely massive. It's over 50,000. If you build into it more, you could probably get it up higher, but I don't have a captain on it, so it's over 50-something thousand easily. With having an action time of 20 seconds and 2,500. So if I build, like, let me see if I should have the right build on this thing, do I? Let's see. Yeah, I do. So you have the build on it, 22 seconds, 25-15, and you're also able to get the heal back quicker too, and an extra heal. The amount of health you can heal on this thing is going to be absolutely insane. It is one of the best survivability ships in the game. Of course, it is a super ship, so of course there has to be something super with it. So just imagine a Conqueror, but on steroids. And that is what this thing is. Insane heal, insane tankiness with that heal. It has the 32mm deck, which can be penned a lot at super tier and tier 10 from HE. If you're not careful, you will get citadeled if you show full broadside, but if you're just doing angled, like if you're angled a lot, you're not going to get citadeled. It's going to be really hard to citadel you, so you don't have to worry about that. So the ship is my number 2 on the tankiest ship in the game. So moving on, we have our number 1, but before then, we have two honorable mentions. The first one is going to be the Petro and the Novo. I'm going to count the Petro and the Novo as one honorable mention because they're essentially the same ship. A lot of people consider the Petro better than the Novo. Let me know what you guys think about in the comments. I personally like the Petro more than the Novo. That's because you get those 360 turrets on the front and the back, which is really, really good. And I really like the 360 turrets. And it's also a smaller target and lower in the water. It makes it a lot harder to hit compared to the Novo. Novo's definitely bigger, so more area to hit. But if you are sitting bow in, it's still pretty hard to hit. Both ships have pretty good armor. 50mm deck right there. I know that the Petros was nerfed. It is 40mm. It was higher in the past, but they did nerf it. They've done so many nerfs to the Petro over time. It's actually crazy how many nerfs they did. The first nerf they did was they had to raise it out of the water so you could actually citadel it, but you still can't really citadel it. Then they messed with the deck armor to lower it so that more tier 10 cruisers could actually do HE damages to the raw deck, so it's actually easier to kill. Because this thing, we've all seen Petros and just how long they can last, and also the guns. The guns on this thing are also just insanely strong as well. So Petro and Nova are both an honorable mention in this list. Moving on, my other honorable mention is going to be the Napoli. The Napoli is essentially the the tanky cruiser of the Italians. It has really good armor with amazing amazing survivability, really hard to citadel this ship. It has the exhaust smoke with the fighter combo, so you get the fighter spotting while you're in your exhaust smoke, zooming around, using your secondaries. The Napoli is one of the most popular coal ships in the game. I always highly recommend it. A lot of fun to play, a lot of fun to brawl in, going to randoms or brawls or in ranked. Does really well there as well. You have torpedoes as well, which you can use in a drive-by. Gun DPM isn't the best, but other than that, very strong secondaries, good torpedoes. Guns are okay. Other than that, really good ship overall. Love it. A lot of fun to play. All right, so the final ship, the tankiest ship in the game. I don't know if you all will agree on this, but is going to be the Ushakov. The Ushakov is going to be my tankiest ship in the game. It is just pure Soviet biased with a 32 millimeter bow with an armored section of 60 and 180, armored deck of 60, and a very, 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 very hard to citadel. You're not going to citadel this thing very easily, just with how thick that side is. Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult to citadel it. If this thing is sitting bow in, oh yeah, by the way, 135,000 HP, by the way. Oh, sorry, you can get that up to 142,000 HP. Incredible. Just extreme tank, just pure tank. And if you sit bow in, which is kind of how this ship is meant to be played, kind of like a tank. It's meant to tank or hold a flank or push up with the team, kind of be that thing that just takes all the hits. If you do that, this thing does an incredible job. Now, this one main weakness of this ship is the torpedoes. It does have a weakness for torpedoes, unfortunately, with a 35% torpedo protection. But other than that, very strong against HE, very strong against AP. Definitely my top list of tankiest ship in the game, purely off of the fact that it's pretty much, it's literally a super Kremlin, and Kremlin was already one of the tankiest ships in the game. So this is just a super version, so this is the tankiest ship in the game. Now, let me know what you guys think of this list, and if you think I should try focusing more on lower tiers, or what do you guys think about that? Overall, I think this is a pretty good list. The Svea, I was kind of iffy on if you guys would like that one being in the pick, but because that ship does take a lot of skill to utilize its tankiness fully. All the rest of these ships that I've mentioned, including the Petro and the Napoli and the honorable list, they all are just tanky ships on their own. It doesn't take a lot of skill to use them to utilize that tankiness, but they do really well on their own, so they do pretty good. So a lot of fun to play. And I am not going to add the experimental ships to this list. I know some people are like, oh, why'd you not mention the Oregon or the Vyazma or Mets? Because they're experimental ships. They're not really here to stay, so I didn't really want to mention them. But if there's any ships you think I missed from this list, or you have your own top 5 tankiest ships in the game, all the ships that I mentioned are available in game. You are able to get them. The Kleber and Marceau are available in the Kleber is available in the tech tree for the French. Marceau is available for coal. Svea is available for steel. Valparasio is available for money. Devestation and Ushakov are both available in the tech trees at the very end in the supers. The Petro and Novo are both available for tech trees, and the Napoli is also available for coal. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, let me know in the comments down below. But this is Overlord Bo, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.